And it should be Officer Paul. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your name?
Officer Paul, Brownstown Township.
Where is Ms. Merkerson? You're going to have to start your video, please. Bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Yes, Your Honor. Angel Merkerson.
Okay, stay right there. Who are all these people around you?
I'm at work.
So I want to just see you and we'll go from there, okay? The officer is here. He's ready to have the hearing. Do you still wish to proceed to the hearing, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, officer, and you, ma'am, both to raise your right hands. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God. Officer?
I do.
Ms. Merkerson?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, officer.
On March 18th of this year at approximately 9:03 a.m., I was on patrol in Brownstown Township, working in OHSP seatbelt detail. At that time, I observed Ms. Merkerson operating her motor vehicle wearing her seatbelt underneath her armpit, improper use of her seatbelt, and she was cited for the same.
Any questions of him?
All right. You say questions. Are you asking me, Your Honor?
Yeah, do you have any questions of him, of the officer?
No, my only question was, my concern was that I had on my seatbelt and I told him me reaching for my beverage, by me being short, my seatbelt naturally wants to come here. And if it's over my shoulder, when I go to reach for my drink, it's in the way. So I thought it would be just a warning. I'm like, I got a good driving record. I did have my seatbelt on, but that was my only question.
But you can't wear it like that though, ma'am.
I don't wear it like that. I was just grabbing my beverage and I literally had put my seatbelt under my arm. Like I said, I felt personally, this is me, I'm not saying that it's right, but I felt like that should have just been a warning, being that I did have.
That some people choose to violate laws.
But my defense is I was practicing the law. It's just that I did, as he said, okay, but it wasn't on properly. It was buckled. If I had it holding it with my arm, but it really wasn't buckled, then I feel like that would have been okay, that's a violation. I didn't know that me putting it under my arm to reach for my beverage would cause me to get a ticket. I had no idea. So to me, I didn't see them give people warnings for lesser things. My seatbelt was buckled up. It just wasn't across my shoulder when he.
You're not wearing it properly, ma'am. That's not wearing it properly.
Your Honor, if I may, she did receive 2 verbal warnings, one for her plate or vehicle showing no insurance on it, and she received a warning for a tinted license plate cover.
My vehicle had insurance from the date that you pulled me over before then.
Wait. Let him finish.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem.
Wait.
So again, when I ran the plate during that traffic stop, it didn't show her vehicle was uninsured. I did not confirm or verify that because I wasn't taking the action on it. She was receiving a verbal warning for it anyway. But from what I could see in my system, it was showing that her vehicle was uninsured at the time, which she did receive a verbal warning for, in addition to the tinted license plate cover that she had.
Okay, now can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another vehicle that was registered under the same plate. So I guess in transference, the state probably didn't have it updated, but I definitely had insurance. He never asked for a copy. So to say that I got a verbal warning, he never asked for my insurance to see if I had it or not. So I don't know how, because I have proof of everything. I made sure of that. I don't drive a vehicle without having proof of insurance. I couldn't take that car off the lot without proof of insurance. The only thing he asked me was that car mine. And I said, yes, this car is mine. It's insured in my name, and I am the only owner. I never got a warning about anything with insurance because we never discussed my insurance, because that was the issue. The only thing that officer said to me was that because I asked him when he pulled me over specifically, because I was praising God. I was in praise and worship listening to a Pacific song. And I asked him, I said, excuse me, can I ask you why I'm being pulled over? Because I thought I was.
Welcome back to the Courtroom Circus, folks. Today's headliner is a case that perfectly captures the "it's not me, it's the system" defense. Meet Angel Merkerson, a woman who insists that she's innocent because technically her seatbelt was buckled, just not correctly. What starts as a minor traffic infraction quickly spirals into a masterclass in courtroom denial. We've got misplaced confidence, divine interruptions, and a judge whose patience wears thinner than a traffic ticket receipt. Stick around. Because while this might seem like a simple seatbelt case, Angel manages to turn it into a verbal gymnastics routine that will leave you shaking your head. You'll want to see how a $65 fine nearly turns into a full-blown courtroom meltdown.
All the people that I work
Time
with feel like it was
out.
petty. All
Time
the people
out.
that I work with feel like it was petty. And even
Young
the
lady,
court,
do
the
not
secretary at the court.
interrupt me. Do not interrupt me.
Am I free to speak or not?
No, no, you're not. I've already heard you. I heard everything you had to say. I'm not about to argue with you.
I'm not arguing with you, sir.
Look,
I'm an adult.
here's-
I'm an
I'm
adult just like
asking
you
you a
are.
question, and I'm going to tell you the answer. You can appeal this decision. You have to post the bond. Is it 7 days or 14 days, Lisa? Remind me.
I believe it's 7.
May 1, you have to pay by, and you tell them, I want to appeal that decision. You pay your $65, and then they will set it in front of the other judge, and you can tell the other judge your story, and maybe she'll agree with you. I don't know what else I can tell you.
That's all I need to hear. You don't have to
Okay.
tell me anything else. You have a wonderful day.
I May 1. Good luck to you. Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. Devon Michael Huff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What is happening in this world? People think they can argue about everything. Devon Michael Huff, 24T642304. Everybody else violates the law, so let me go.
Right out of the gate, Angel sets the stage for classic courtroom chaos. She's at work, surrounded by coworkers, and decides that's the perfect time to argue with the judge. Meanwhile, Officer Paul shows up like a man on a mission, calm, professional, and probably wondering how long this will take. What's interesting here is how composed the court is at first. Everyone's polite, formal, even a bit hopeful. But if you've seen enough of these hearings, you know that calm won't last long. Angel's about to swap legal reasoning for emotional storytelling, and it's going to get messy fast.
On a payment plan so I can, because I have to be at work at 2:30, and I got.
Well, I have to get the prosecutor on here. I'm not sure where she is. We are on the record in the 13th Judicial District, the District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas. This comes on for first appearance this April 29th, 2025. Mr. Lockett is asked to be first on the docket to get back to, I think he said work. They're on the record in 2025 TR84. Mr. Lockett, you're charged with 3 counts. In count 1, you're charged with speeding 85 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. This is a traffic infraction. It does not carry any jail time. But if you were to be convicted for speeding 85 and a 65, your fine would be $105. You'd also be assessed court costs of $108. In count 2, you're charged with driving with unlawful registration or expired tag. That is an unclassified misdemeanor. Maximum penalties include a fine up to $2,500 and a possible 30-day to 6-month jail sentence, although that's usually somewhere around a $50 fine with probation.
And here it is, the infamous "but I was wearing it" argument. Angel admits to tucking the belt under her arm, but insists it doesn't count because, technically, it was still buckled. This is the courtroom equivalent of saying, I wasn't speeding, officer, my car was just moving enthusiastically. The issue? Seat belts are designed to protect across the chest. Under the arm, they can cause serious injury. Or in legal terms, that's a clear violation.
In count 3, you're charged with driving without liability insurance or able to provide proof. That's a B misdemeanor. If convicted, you'd have to serve 6 months maximum, but again, probation is an option, so you wouldn't have to serve the time unless you violated probation. There's a mandatory minimum fine of $300 up to $1,000. Now, you said you wanted to resolve this today, or are you aware?
The officer, the officer, I wasn't even, he was way in front of me before I even passed him. He was probably half a mile ahead in front of me.
They got
He
me
said I was
on
wrong.
this. I didn't get pulled over for no ticket.
All right, y'all need to be quiet if it's not your time. Mr. Lockett, while we're
He said,
interrupted, you need to show me your face. Can you please remove your hair from your face?
"Hey, this guy
Now,
said that I was.
let's get you
He said that
identified.
I was going."
Now we see Angel do something many defendants can't resist, wandering off topic. Instead of focusing on the seatbelt, she dives into insurance, license plates, and registration transfers. This is a classic courtroom derailment tactic, usually born from frustration rather than logic. The officer keeps things simple and factual. He gave verbal warnings, not citations. But Angel takes that as an opening to debate the entire DMV system. But what's fascinating here is how emotion replaces evidence. She feels wronged, so she argues feelings instead of facts. The problem? Judges don't rule on feelings. They rule on violations.
Plead not guilty. We'll set this for trial at a later date, and you will have the time to challenge the state's officers that testify, and you can testify on your own behalf if you want to. You can't be compelled to, but if you want to. So are you wanting to plead not guilty and set these for trial?
Yeah, I'm pleading not guilty because I know I wasn't going 85. He was way in front of me. So how do you see I was going 85? Which you
We'll enter a plea of not guilty and set these for trial. On the B misdemeanor, do you want to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or represent yourself?
I represent myself.
You don't want to
I
have,
I, I I'll admit to the no tags and no insurance, but I wasn't speeding. I wasn't going 85.
all right, Ms. Gillette, did you hear his comments just now? He will admit insurance and no tags. He just wants to contest the speeding. Does the state take any position on that?
Judge, if he wants to admit to the expired tag and the no insurance, I can dismiss the speeding and you can give me Miss Fine's court cost and information today.
Okay. All right, so they're willing to dismiss that speeding, Mr. Lockett, if you pursue that guilty plea to the insurance and tags. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right, now before I get to your plea, I need to back up to the question about the attorney. Do you understand that you can hire an attorney? If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply for court appointed, or you can waive attorney and proceed to represent yourself today. Do you want to
And I
represent?
said I plead guilty to the. I said I would plead guilty to the
Right.
no tax and insurance. I mean,
Okay, and sir, I'll be happy to entertain that in due time. But before I do, I have to find out if you understand your rights to an attorney and if you wish to proceed without an attorney. I just need to get that on the record if that's how you want to proceed. You want to proceed on your own behalf today?
on my own behalf, I don't need a attorney.
Okay. All right, well, I'll show that you're waiving your right to counsel on record, and I'll ask that be in the docket notes and the journal entry. Now, how do you plead to count two driving in Greenwood County on March 1st, 2025 without,
This is where the drama peaks. Angel says she was praising God when she got pulled over, as if divine intervention should shield her from traffic enforcement. Don't get me wrong, faith is powerful, but it doesn't override seatbelt laws. Notice the judge's body language here. If this were video composed, almost stoic, as Angel passionately recounts her story, it's a common psychological pattern. When people feel morally right, they assume they must also be legally right. Unfortunately, the law doesn't see it that way. And that disconnect? It's about to collide head-on.
tag, you plead guilty to that?
Yes. I mean, I would. I mean, it's proof I was, but I know for a fact that I wasn't going 85.
Well,
And the
85.
officer had an attitude and everything.
All right, well, they're dismissing the 85 upon plea to counts 2 and 3. And speaking of count 3, how do you plead to driving that day without proof of liability insurance?
Just plead me guilty. I gotta go. Just give me guilty. It don't matter. Just I pay. Just set me up with a fine.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you were in fact guilty of driving without tags and insurance on March 1st of 25?
I didn't have tags. I didn't have insurance, and my tags was expired. I was driving with expired tags.
All right, and no one's making you into this plea today? You're doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
All right, and the officer's citation said you were driving on Highway 400 at milepost 339 in Butler County. Would you agree with that? Or I'm sorry, in Greenwood County. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And would you agree that this happened on March 1st of 2025?
I don't remember.
Okay, but that's what your evidence would show, Ms. Gillette.
Yes, Your Honor, March 1st.
All right, I accept your pleas, finding them freely and voluntarily, knowingly entered, finding you guilty of counts 2 and 3, dismissing count 1, speeding. So we'll proceed to your sentencing. Recommendations for sentencing, Ms. Gillette.
Your Honor, I would recommend on count 2, we'll dismiss count 1, recommend on count 2, the expired tag, no jail time, a fine of $75, which is the statutory fine, court cost of $108. On count 3, there's always like a required underlying. I would recommend 5 days underlying suspended for non-reporting probation.
There it is, the ruling. $65. A pretty mild consequence, all things considered. But instead of accepting the fine, Angel does what many courtroom characters do best: refuse to let it end. What's wild here is that the judge's tone is calm, almost merciful. He could have scolded her harder, but instead, he gives her a clear path to closure. Still, Angel isn't done. For her, this isn't about $65. It's about principle, perception, and pride. And when those collide with authority, things never stay civil.